Hello. Hi. Welcome. My name is Erin, and we're gonna make another scrapbook page. So I showed off my scrapbook pages. I don't know, a couple days ago. Showed off the page kits that I made. This is one of the page kits. I figured we would make a page together. I sort of planned out what I was gonna do, and I'm gonna try and do this. Like I'm not really sure how I do this. But I did one of these, so we'll see. It's going pretty well. I got my glue over here, my ATG gun. Hopefully that'll work properly. And I sort of planned out how I wanted to do things. So I have these two photos of Sirius, and I wanted to do sort of like a morning routine kind of thing. Because he has his little morning routine, I usually wake up before my husband does, and so he is asleep with him until my husband decides to get up. So we've got little Sirius. So I should probably glue these down first, huh? We got two little pictures of Sirius, and it's one of the things about dogs is it really doesn't. There's not a whole lot to say about them sometimes, but you still want to take pictures of them. Also, if you hear my neighbors like stomping around and banging and stuff like that, we live on the bottom floor and they live above us. So therefore they're really, really loud, and they do not care how loud they are despite me asking them not to be that way. So unfortunately, if you hear that kind of thing, or my dog's reacting to that kind of thing, there's nothing I can do about it. There's literally no time to record that doesn't include just constant banging from my neighbors. So yeah, I apologize for that if it interrupts. Because boy howdy, it distracts the crap out of me. But just gonna give these a quick cut. This. I did print them on 4x6, but then I cut them down a little bit because there's like background stuff. Basically just him in my room. He'll usually wake up and come in my room for pets and stuff and get me to take him outside, and you know, no, it's just normal dog stuff. But I realized that when our other dog passed away, like there were things that we went to do but then didn't need to do because he wasn't there anymore. And while Sirius was there, it was a little different with Vigo, and even just the way you get out of bed was different because there was a bed there and you have to like step around him, and then he wasn't there anymore and you didn't have to. So, God, they're really loud. I'm sorry. I hope you can't hear it. Usually on the streams you can't hear it so much unless they really make a big noise, but I don't know. So for most of the color, or most of the paper of this layout, I guess it is, most of the paper of this layout is from For the Record 2 by Echo Park and Lori Whitlock. Lori Whitlock, yeah. And that's from 2012. So it's one of those kits that I had, or yeah, collection kits. There's kits. Collection kits that I had where I went to Scrapbook Expo, and Echo Park was there. They always did a big like, okay, I don't think showcase is the right word, but they had a big booth. There we are, and a lot of sales went on. So it was like, get these kits with either like extra paper or double paper or something like that. Get these kits with all of this extra paper, and you could pay only like $5. And so it was very enticing. And then this is a scenic route paper, I believe. The blue on the photos is the new paper I got called Simple Vintage Coastal. And yeah, Studio Calico here and there. Because I thought it would just add a little bit of interest, because it's got these weird scribbly box things. I don't really know what they are, but it's just a little bit of texture on there. I don't remember what it was like supposed to be, but yeah, also 2012 is another thing. Like, I used to scrapbook so much that the paper in my collection was only like 6 months old. It was so, there was so much turnover that, like, yeah, maybe a year, but really not that much. And now it's been so long that all of my paper is just from that like scrapbooking kind of heyday. And I mean, that's good because I went through all my stuff and I was just like, ooh, I like all of this stuff. And then for this piece of paper, I went and did the border punch of bookbinding. I only have like one border punch, so it's either I use this or nothing. I use this or nothing, and like that's fine. But yeah, if I end up needing something else, I'm just kind of rude. I had to get rid of a lot of my punches because I have pretty severe arthritis and tendonitis in my hands, and I can't actually punch things very well. And I don't really want to go running to my husband to have him do those things just like all the time for me. So this is where I wanted to put the pictures, and I can't decide if I wanted to have it like this or like this maybe. No, because I wanted the border on there. So let's put it up closer to the top. I think. Yeah. Have this little border on there, and then maybe have it a little bit down here. All right. I had it planned out. I had it like laid out like on my phone even. Not the actual photo. Come on. It was on the photos. I had it like laid out. And I'm just like, just do it live. Just do it live. I probably wouldn't have just done it completely live if my phone hadn't shut off on its own, but there we are. All right, I'm gonna weight the photos over to the left side here. And get that on there. I kind of want them a little bit sideways, but not too much, because I don't want to go over into that yellow, because then there's no point in matting the photos. The reason I matted them, I don't always matte my photos, but the reason I did it is to just kind of break up that blue, because I wanted to include these two blues. Now, I know these pictures look almost exactly the same, but they're not. There's one here where he's looking more at the camera, but it's slightly blurry, and then there's one here that's really clear, and he's kind of like looking at me. And I kind of wanted this to be like this. Maybe like that. Yeah, I think I wanted it like that. So yeah, yesterday, today, tomorrow, forever. And that seemed like a cute little quote type thing. This is the opposite side of that vintage coastal piece. So I'm just using scraps as I'm making them, which is a good tip. Just like use them up as you make them, and then you don't really have to worry about it, right? I'm just going to cover over this edge here with the other green paper. Go. I did pick out some washi tape, but I'm not really sure how I want to place that, because I did want some of this showing. Some of the seams, I guess it is. Oh, I'm not really sure where I want to put this now. Maybe just as accents I can do, because I was going to run it across here, but then I think now that I'm looking at it, I think no. So I had a journaling card picked out, and I don't want to use the whole thing, but I want to use some to get that pink in there. See these two pinks? So this is just this is from one of the cut aparts from this collection too, the Lori Whitlock collection. I like scrapbooking by collection. It just kind of saves me time. Not that I don't have an abundance of time, but I like scrapbooking fast. And I mean, honestly, like I've made a lot of these decisions already, so this looks falsely fast. But I don't spend a lot of time looking in my collection. I did show a picture of my collection on Instagram, like all of my paper. I organized the stuff that I just bought into my collection, and so that's all there, and I did show pictures of it, but it's like a drawer and a half, like a 20 or a 13 by 13 cube, and then half of another one. That's how much paper I have. That's like my collection packs, and kind of want it like this. That's my, collection packs and just my paper in general. And I don't want to say, ooh, I don't have a lot, because I know there are absolutely people that have more than me. but I don't have a ton to go through, and it doesn't take me very long to go through it. And I really like making fast decisions. That's why I'm really good at the just stick and go method, because I will make fast decisions and I don't have a problem, questioning, oh, maybe it should go here, maybe it should go there, maybe it should be there, because that would drive me crazy. Actually, now that I'm looking at this doesn't even have a frame, or it doesn't have to have a frame. Look at that. I was going to cut out the frame, but I really didn't like the frame. I have things with frames. I was going to cut it out to here. I don't know. Should I keep that? Yeah, I mean, when else am I going to use it, right? Yeah, maybe I should. So this collection pack actually came with 2 of these sticker packs, sticker sheets. There we are. Words. This collection pack actually came with 2 sticker sheets, and it's making a weird shadow, and I'm like, oh my god, is there something in the frame? Because that's absolutely the kind of professional that I am. There would be something in the frame, and I wouldn't notice until the end. But I don't like frames. What else was I saying? Yeah, this came with 2 sticker sheets, and from what I understand, like the price in sticker sheets went up like a whole bunch, and that bums me out because in general, like I like using them, but I'm always frustrated because I end up having to cut them out, and there's always something sort of wrong, and then if it's going to cost me $3 and it's not going to be perfect, it's going to make me angry. Okay, so the journaling is probably going to go down here somewhere, and I'm just using this as a stand-in because I probably have to like type the journaling, right? I probably have to type it. I can't write very well by hand anymore, so I'm just going to use this as a stand-in. I can put this, I don't want to cover up yesterday though. No, because yeah, that's not going to fit down there, but it'll fit up here, or it'll fit up here. It'll also fit like on the photo on this dead space, which might work too. You can put it like here, because there's just, I mean, it's honestly just this Alex drawer unit over here. So I have this. It says remember this. I can also turn it this way, and we can make it say remember this when you stop and look around. This life is pretty amazing. That can go there. This can also just go down here. Add some of the yellow down at the bottom. I made all these decisions ahead of time, and then I'm just like, I don't know where this goes. Yeah. Again, that's the kind of professional that I am, okay? You just kind of get used to it. So yeah, that can go there, but then like, they're all already words. I say let's put it where I had planned to put it in the first place, which was up there. I planned it to go up there, so let's just do what I actually have planned. I also punched out some hearts, add some more color on there, because I wanted to incorporate more of that weird pinkish. It's like a coral, I think. I don't know. Weird pinkish works too. I'm not great with red and pink and all that, so. But I mean, it's in the collection, and I like combination of the yellow and the green and the blue and the orange. I didn't want to add too much orange because I have a lot of orange pages coming, but I kind of like this up here. Now that I said it, like I kind of like it up here, but maybe something like that, and then could do let's have a great day, or just a glimpse. Just a glimpse is good. Also anchor it with this if we wanted, so it's just another piece. This. See, like there's very few things that I'll sit and dither about, but I get stuck, don't I? Can even just have it like part of this. You get like a weird little frame thing. Executive decision. Yeah, this can go here. You can put on there. I don't want to cover up too much of this, but that can go there. Have a Let's have a great day. I liked that one because I do tell him that a lot. I'm just like, are you ready to start your day? Are you excited? Which side is better? I think this side. Not as good. Have this. Once I stick it to the photo, it's not going anywhere. This go like that. These photos I printed at home because getting prints from Shutterfly was stupid expensive. I did 200 photos, 250, 240, something like that. Spent like an hour and a half picking out the photos that I wanted. You know that, and you know how that goes. Especially if you haven't printed photos in years. So spent like an hour and a half doing that. It ended up being $36, and I'm like, okay, that's not bad. I can handle that. And then it was just like, yeah. Also, it's gonna be it's gonna be $27 to ship that. What? So yeah, I looked at the final thing, and it's just like, oh yeah, $60. I'm like, excuse? I'm not paying $60 to print 240 photos. Like, that's a good amount of photos, don't get me wrong, but no. And then it's just like, well, you could get some you could get them printed at like CVS or something, and there is one here, but they'll charge you $40 per print, and they won't print the date on the back. So you're gonna have to figure out the date on each photo. And I'm like, what? So needless to say, I did not make that order. But I have a photo printer, a Canon Pixma Pro 100, I think my husband said it is. And so I was like, all right, how about I print some photos at home, and then I'll just print them on demand, and is that going to be better? And the answer was yes, it is better. So that's why I printed out the 7 things that I showed you guys in the... Oops. Can you tell I forgot these? Can you tell I forgot I wanted washi tape under here? Yeah. No. There. A little bit of washi tape, that's all. Wanted to scooch that under there. Good thing that glue dries clear. Oh, this is fine. It's fine. It's fine. See, I'm serious about the scrapbook pages, you know? I'm just here playing with paper and some stickers, and if it works out, it works out. That's good. But I'm also one of those people that's looking at some of my old collection, or not my old collection, my old scrapbook pages. Dude, you friggin' sucked at this. Like, I'm being real serious with myself. Like, you did not do well. This page is not good. What is going on? And sometimes it's the composition, sometimes it's the complete lack of subject matter, sometimes it's just me just not doing a good job. And I'm like, you know what? You should probably start redoing some of these. And I know that there's a big debate in the scrapbooking industry. I don't know currently, but I know it has been in the past about like, hey, you know, part of the old scrapbook pages is, you know, it's also a legacy of how you used to scrapbook and who you were at the time when you made the scrapbook pages, yada, yada, yada. I get it. I hear you. I understand the argument. The thing is, I have to say, like, who am I preserving these things for? Right? Because my husband and I are childless. We have dogs. And trust me, we are going to outlive them. The likelihood is that we are going to outlive them. And even if we did not, leaving our estate of a ton of scrapbooks and their kibble, because what do they own, doesn't make a whole lot of sense to dogs. So honestly, what am I preserving anything for? Now, we have nieces, but we don't live anywhere near them. Well, I mean, sort of. They're in different states is the point. We're not exactly like super close, and there's no reason for them to want or need our scrapbooks or our memories or in an archive of us. And it's not something I would expect either. It's just not really something that I see any of them wanting. And especially as a person myself, I probably would not want them either if I were them. So then it comes down to pleasing myself, right? And if I don't want to look at my scrapbook pages because I don't like what the work that I've done on them, because I don't think it's good, and I'm just like, ugh, every time I look at this album, I'm just like super embarrassed because it's so gross to look at. You know, if I'm that guy when I'm looking at him, it's almost like, well, then you should change it because you're preserving your memories for you. Now, I can only say from a childless perspective, obviously, people who have an actual legacy to pass on, I can understand your point of view might be different, but I don't have such a thing. And I still want it to face in the stage. Edge. Well, more up there. Edge. So yeah, I don't really feel like archiving how the scrapbooking industry was going at the time, or what trendy thing I may or may not have done, or me trying to figure out scrapbooking when I first started and being like, well, everybody else is cutting their photos into shapes. I guess that's just how you scrapbook. Right, because we all had to learn somewhere, and we learned from looking at examples, and some examples were crap. Some examples were terrible, and some examples I think are dumb, and some examples I'm like, man, you should not have followed that. So I'm like, you know, maybe it would be pertinent to just kind of change this up, or just like down here, but I don't want to cover more of the photo. Have it like this, going along this edge here. I think that'll work. Glimpse. I like the just a glimpse thing. I wanted to keep, needed to keep it. Could bring in some die cuts, but honestly, we have so much going on here. I don't think the journaling will go down here. It's just like his morning routine is not a huge, just a little bit of information I wanted to include. Something to write, because other than that, it's just like, oh my God, you're so cute. But I mean, that's it. That's all I'd have to say. It's just, oh my God, you're so cute, because he is. And I tell him that all the time, but he knows that. He doesn't need a scrapbook for it, and I don't need a scrapbook to prove it. Get a little bit of that on there for the hell of it. Okay. So, yeah, I'll put the journaling down here. I'm probably going to have to print it out. And I think that works out. Minutes to put it all together at the very least. But yeah, I mean, I think that going back and changing some of the scrapbook pages where I just don't want to look at things anymore is probably something that I'm going to do. And especially when it's like, well, I don't have any photos I can print out or anything, because I have caught up before. I have absolutely caught up before. And then I started just making random stuff that was dumb, and I don't like it now. And it's like, well, then you wasted your time. Stuck to my hand when I tried to throw it away. You know, then you wasted your time. But it's not necessarily wasting your time, even if you don't end up with a finished product. But especially for somebody that's childless, at the end of the day, who am I scrapbooking for? I'm scrapbooking for me, possibly my husband if he happens to look at them. But honestly, Sirius isn't going to care if I do a scrapbook page for him. So if I don't like how this looks 10 years from now, and every time I look at his scrapbook, I'm just like, man, he's adorable, but I hate the layout of this, I don't have any problem with changing it. You know, or maybe including more information, or adding something different to it, or, you know, stuff like that. It's just for fun. It's the same reason I do coloring books, or the same reason I do mixed media stuff. It's just for fun, and I'm not going to take it too seriously. I have some cool sprays here that I almost want to put on here, but there's no reason to put it on here. And also the colors don't match. I mean, this almost does, but not really. It doesn't need this yellow thing on it. I just scrapbook so simple. What if we put some enamel dots? Because I have plenty of those. Should we take in some more of this pink? Yeah, we should take in some of this pink. Ooh, the hearts. The hearts are good. No, I had hearts. Let's go with that. It's like the right color, too. And yes, I know these are really full. This is what happens when you do group buys with a bunch of people and you buy enough that you will never have to buy any more in your entire life. That was my goal. That was my absolute goal. Buy enough that you'll never have to buy more enamel dots for the rest of your scrapbooking life. So I did. And it was not very expensive, trust me. These were like pennies. Pennies a set. That was the other motivating factor. If they're pennies a set, you might as well go ahead and get a bunch, even in colors that you don't use often, like pink. Because guess what? There's pink in this. So there, now it looks like there's a cluster of 3 hearts, even though they're enamels. Or you could go in and be like, okay, well, there's 2 hearts each, and then we'll add a different pink for just the enamels. Yeah, the group got to pick the colors, and so it was like voted on. So I got outvoted occasionally, but it wasn't a big deal because I will end up using them, and I won't have to worry about ever using them, because if I don't use them up right now, I'll use them up eventually. So yeah, I have a ton of these, every single color, and some wood grain, and some, like, splitter. I don't know. But yeah, that's why enamel dots are definitely my go-to, because I still don't have to buy them to this day. Hopefully nothing happens to that collection, but so far they're fine. Yeah, I think that tops it off nicely. I'll just put my journaling down in here. I'm going to try really hard not to do it by hand because it's hard for me, but I used to including my handwriting in my own page. But I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it wasn't terrible. I hope you're liking the scrapbooking pages, things that are happening nowadays on my YouTube. Please remember to like and subscribe, or dislike it if you didn't. I mean, do you scrapbook your dogs? Do you show your dogs pictures of themselves? Because I do. Do you how do you feel about redoing old pages that you didn't enjoy? Do you scrapbook trendy so that you would have to do pages? Because oh my god, remember that stupid trend from 2011 that you still hate now? Why did you do those pages? Did you end up with any of that? Let me know down in the comments below. I appreciate hearing from you. But until the next one, I think that's it for me. So goodbye, everybody.